Hi everyone, Jennifer here, back with another of my top favorite videos. And this one is a countdown of my top 5 favorite Eeveelutions. In the world of Pokemon, Eevee is extremely unique, as it has a branched evolution and can evolve into, at my last count, 8 different types of Pokemon. Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon, Espeon, Umbreon, Glaceon, Leafeon, and Sylveon. And because of this, Eevee is extremely versatile. Based on how it evolves, you can have different types of Pokemon. 3 of them evolve using a stone, 2 of them evolve, depending on whether it's day or night, 2 evolve by being close to a certain stone, and 1 evolves because of a high friendship level. And really, if you have like 7 Eevees, when you evolve them, you can have a very well-rounded team, provided they all evolve into into a different Eeveelution. Now, I am going to focus on my top 5 favorite Eeveelutions. If one of yours does not make the list, I apologize, but this is my top favorite. So it's going to be the 5 that I absolutely love. Okay, number 5, Sylveon. Sylveon is number 5 on this list because it's relatively new. I don't know that much about Sylveon other than that it's a fairy-type Pokemon, and that Eevee evolves into Sylveon when its friendship level with its trainer is at a certain point. But I do love the design of Sylveon. I think it is very pretty. And it is very girly. It is predominantly white and pink with a big bow right on its chest and another big bow by its ears with these little tendrils coming down that, from what I've seen in YouTube videos and stuff, it can use as like hands, but just the design and the way it looks makes it seem very feminine. But it is a fairy type Pokemon, so that is not all that surprising. But Sylveon makes number 5 on this list because I don't know that much about it, but I do think it's a very pretty design. Number 4, Flareon. Okay, I like Flareon. Flareon is one of the original 3 Eeveelutions, along with Vaporeon and Jolteon. And I do like Flareon. It is very, as compared to the other 2 original Eeveelutions, it is very fluffy. Jolteon was very spiky, while Vaporeon was very sleek. Flareon, of course, is a fire type, and Eevee evolves into Flareon based solely on the use of a fire stone. Now, I do like Flareon. I love Flareon very much. If I had a Flareon, I would call it Fireball. Oh, and incidentally, if I had a Sylveon, I would call her Beloved. And I just love the design. Like I said, it's a very fluffy Pokemon in comparison to really not only the original 3 Eeveelutions, but all the Eeveelutions. It is probably the fluffiest of all the Eeveelutions, which is kind of weird when you stop and think about it, because it is a fire-type Pokemon. You wouldn't think of a fire-type Pokemon as being fluffy. An ice-type Pokemon, maybe, but not a fire-type. But still, it's a very fluffy Pokemon. And I like the red body with the blue, the yellow poofy tail and the yellow chest fur and the little yellow puff on the top. Basically, it looks like a little red and yellow poodle, in my opinion. But it's just so cute and adorable. Probably one of the most adorable Eeveelutions that there is. It's basically like Flareon just got a little bit bigger and got red and yellow. Because Eevee is very, kind of fluffy too, in my opinion. Okay, number 3, Vaporeon. Another of the original 3 Eeveelutions. Vaporeon is a water type. You can kind of guess with some of them based on their names what they are, or what type they are. And Vaporeon basically comes about when an Eevee evolves using a water stone. I do like Vaporeon. It is very streamlined. It's a water type. It has to be streamlined to a degree. Water type Pokemon are either very streamlined or they're very fish-like. It's one of the two. Vaporeon is very, very streamlined. It looks basically like a land animal that, instead of having a fluffy tail, had like a dolphin's tail. And then it's got the little trifins on its head. 2 where its ears are, and then 1 as a dorsal fin. And then the little thin ruffle around its neck. I wouldn't even be surprised if its paws are webbed. I really like it. I like the design. It is blue, which is one of my favorite colors. Flareon, of course, is red, which is another one of my favorite colors. But I do like Vaporeon a little bit more than Flareon, solely because it is a water type, and I kind of like the water types a little more than the fire types. But I had a Vaporeon, I would call it Waterfall. But just, a Pokemon that I really, really love. I like the design. I like its abilities. I like the type. I am very partial to water type Pokemon. I mean, I'll take anything when I play the game. I like to have a well-rounded team when I play the games because it just helps you out better when you're going up against the different gym leaders and whatnot. But I do like water types. I like psychic types. And I like the electric types. So Vaporeon, because it is a water type, and I like the ice types. Because it is because of its type, it kind of gets a little higher up there on the list. Okay, number 2 is Glaceon. And if I misspelled any of these names, I apologize. I really like Glaceon. It is an ice type, and ice types are one of my favorite types of Pokemon. It's also a very pretty design for Glaceon. When my sister first saw Glaceon, when I showed her a picture of it in one of the Pokedex I have, she's like, it has pigtails! And it does. If you look at it, it does have, like, pigtails. Where the little, I guess you could say, bangs are. And it's very pretty. It's like, it is a bluish type color. It's like light ice. It's like an icy blue, as opposed to Vaporeon, which is a deeper, more ocean blue. It is an ice type, and Eevee becomes a Flareon in the games and in the show by taking it to a ice-covered rock in, I forget the region. One of the regions. And having it evolve, and I think it has to have it has to be at a certain level as well. But I love it. I love the design. I love how it's got little diamonds on its back. And it's just a really cute Pokemon. And the fact that it's an ice type and it's not fluffy, I really like, because a lot of the ice type Pokemon you see, they're either really fluffy Pokemon or they're like, look like they're made out of ice. And Glaceon is not fluffy. It is like, probably the least fluffy of the non-ice, like, ice-type Pokemon. Well, okay, Jinx as well, but, I think Jinx is a dual. Okay, before we move on to my number one favorite evolution, I want to do a couple of honorable mentions. Now, these honorable mentions, they're not actual evolutions that I know of. They're more fan evolutions. And by that, I mean they are evolutions that the fans have come up with. But I absolutely love the designs. And one of them I know right off the bat what type the artist was going for. The other two I'm going to have to guess on. Okay, first off is Misteon. I'm assuming it's supposed to be a ghost-type Pokemon, but I love the design. I think it's very pretty. I love how the artist drew the tail as almost like vapor-like, and has a little bit of like the vapors going over the shoulders and everything. It's a very, very pretty design. The other one is Brazion, which I can tell for a fact is a Sky-type. I love the basically these are based on how basically that I like the design. But I love the design. I like how the tail is very feathered, like a wing, and then it's got the little wings on its shoulders. I think they're a little bit small for its size, but maybe its special ability is as a flying type is that the little wings just help support it. Maybe its tail and its ears help it fly or something. I don't know, but I love the design for it. And I love the name, too, Brazion. That's just so pretty. Same thing with Misteon. They're both very pretty names for the for these two fan evolutions. Okay, and Spirion, I believe is how you say the name. I'm guessing this is another ghost type. Between Spirion and Misteon, I actually like Misteon a little bit better because I just think the design is just a little prettier. But Spirion, I could see a male Eevee evolving into this for a ghost type, and maybe Misteon being more like a female Eevee evolving into a ghost type. But again, I could be wrong. These could not be ghost types. I'm assuming based on their names they are. But again, I love the design. I like how it looks like it's got horns on it and whatnot. It's just a very nice design for this Pokemon. Again, these three are fan evolutions. They are not actual evolutions that I know of. They're just evolutions that the fans came up with. But they're very, very pretty. I absolutely love them, and I just wanted to mention them. Okay, and finally, my number one favorite evolution is Espeon and Umbreon. That's right, Espeon and Umbreon share the number one spot as my favorite evolution, basically because I couldn't decide between the two of them. I love both Espeon and Umbreon. They're like opposites. Espeon is a psychic type. Umbreon is a dark type. And psychic and dark types, I think, are polar opposites. It's been a while since I played Pokemon, so I could be wrong. But I think psychic types are stronger against dark types, or dark types are stronger against psychic types. I'm not 100% sure which. But they are very much opposite of each other. And they evolve opposite of each other. Eevee evolves into an Espeon by attaining a certain level at night, and an Eevee evolves into during the day, excuse me, and an Eevee evolves into an Umbreon by evolving into by attaining a certain level at night. So they're like opposites. They're like yin and yang, but I just love it. I love their design. They both look very cat-like. They're the most cat-like Pokemon or evolutions that there are. And they are very, very popular, or they seem to be very popular with the fans, because I see a lot of Espeon and Umbreon fan art, either one or the other or both of them together. And also a lot of Espeon Umbreon fanfics, where Espeon and Umbreon are like the main Pokemon characters in the fanfic. So they are extremely popular. I think maybe because they are kind of polar opposites of each other, yet they work so well together. When you read the fanfics, when you see them in the show, they work very well with each other. They almost play off each other when you see them together. So, maybe it has to do with the whole one evolves during the day, one evolves into the night during the night, so they're like a yin-yang kind of thing. I don't know. But I absolutely love them. Sunlight and Moonlight, if I had one. Obviously, you can tell which, it's a pretty easy guess which one is which one would be which. Sunlight would be the Espeon. Moonlight would be the Umbreon. Forgot to mention Glaceon would be Ice Princess. But I absolutely love them. I have 2 fanfics that I write where an Espeon and Umbreon are the main characters. And I have 2 crossover fanfics where 2 of the couples have an Espeon. One has an Espeon and one has an Umbreon. So yeah, you can tell I absolutely love these guys. I use them in my Pokemon stories and in my crossover with Pokemon stories more than any other evolution. So yeah, they are my favorites. Okay, feel free to leave your comments and questions in the comment section. I do love to read those. Let me know if any of the any of the evolutions I mentioned are your favorites, or which one is your favorite if it didn't make the list. Feel free to follow me on Wattpad, Tumblr, Instagram, and Twitter. I do have my name for those 4 sites right there on the screen, as well as the pictures I use for the icons. Please note that all pictures seen within this video do belong to their respected artists. I own absolutely nothing. And the links for the 4 sites I mentioned will be in the description section if that makes it any easier for you guys. Okay, quick reminder on my comment rules. Okay, feel free to check out my other top favorite videos. My top favorite special edition videos. and my other videos. Okay, before I sign off, a few things I'd like to touch on. First off, YouTube subscribers. Any of my videos that are not on my YouTube channel are on my Facebook page. The link will be in the description section. Facebook friends, basically the same deal. Any of my videos that cannot be found on Facebook are on my YouTube channel. The link will be in the description section. And to anyone who's interested, you can feel free to check out my Facebook group, Fanfic Corner. The link for that will be in the description section. Okay, please like and share if you're watching on Facebook, or like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching on YouTube. And as always, thank you for watching, and have a very nice day.